But first, President Trump telling the nation's governors his new plan on school safety. The president telling them that they have to fight the NRA every once in a while, and that he himself would have run into that school with a gun if he was there. This is about 20 businesses now boycotting and ending their partnerships with the NRA. We'll have more on that coming up. And what's really driving the consumer boycott. Joining me now is Republican Georgia Representative Doug Collins. Good to see you, Congressman. What did you think about the president's comments about bringing back mental health institutions and having to fight the NRA every once in a while? He also wants bump stocks banned as well.
Well, Liz, good to see you again as well. And I think one of the things, let's talk about, the president wants to do something. This is something that we've gone back and forth on many times. This president is a president of action. He sees things and he wants to help them. And I think the key part is, and even he emphasized this a little bit today, is he's wanting to do something that actually work. There's a big difference in actually just going out and doing something that makes people feel good but doesn't actually address a problem. And I think what he's trying to find is, what are the things that actually work? Hardening our schools, making sure that we have mental health awareness, and having the red flags that are there to actually be checked upon. I asked a question just this past week when I was back in Georgia, in my district. I said, what law can I pass to make the FBI actually check up on a lead? What law could I pass that actually makes the sheriff's department follow up on leads that they were given? These are the kind of things that are hard to answer and hard to talk about, but they're very honest attempts, and I think the president is trying to do that.
Yeah, the president also agreeing to maybe use federal money to help local schools. Let's take a listen.
The states can do these various programs without the federal government also. And we're there to help, and we'll help monetarily, which is very important because a lot of the school budgets, especially, they don't have the money. I mean, where are they going to get the money to put 100 guards into the school in Parkland? I mean, it's very tough. It's a tough situation. But the federal government can help out. But a lot of these solutions that we talk about, whether you agree with me or you agree with somebody else, you can do them pretty much by yourselves within your state.
Well, that's the story. As you point out, it's a local story, what happened in Parkland, a breakdown at the local level, dozens of red flags missed. You know, Congressman, see something, say something can only work so far as the people who are in the job and you need competency and leadership there. You can have all the laws in the books, but you need the right people to enforce them, right?
Well, you do, and I mean, frankly, you know, what do you want to say about the event, which was tragic? And we always try to remember that lost life, and those who are grieving right now need to be lifted up. They need to be held. They need to know that there is people that care, but also they need to know that their own local law enforcement will be a part of that as well. For a sheriff to say that he was doing an outstanding job, undoubtedly his desk was safe, because undoubtedly nothing else was down there. Because if that was an exceptional job, then there should have been flags that were followed up on. There should have been deputies who went at the sound of gunfire, not running away from the sound of gunfire, standing outside. These are basic things. If someone is in the military, could you imagine we condoning running away from gunfire for our folks in the military in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and the rest of the world?
Point.
You can't do that.
You know, we could sit and do armchair quarterbacking, and with 20/20 hindsight, people across the country can say what they would have done. But when you're in that job, your hair should be on fire. You're protecting children. That is your mandate. That is your vision. That is your duty. And you need people with that vision in those spots.